Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Another video for the revision here. We've got year 7 term 2 mid exam. Alright, so we have to discuss about algebra since it's the content that has been assigned. Starting with simplifying algebraic terms. So here we'll be simplifying expressions. For example, we're gonna add expressions, we're gonna subtract expressions, we're gonna multiply, and finally also we're gonna divide. But for this video, I'm just gonna discuss about adding, subtracting, and multiplying. All right. So let's talk about the first one. Here we've got an example: x plus x. Here we have two. This is an expression, so all of this is expression. So we call it expression. Thank you very much for the information. In this expression, we have two terms. This is a term, and that's a term. So we need to understand our vocabulary. So when I explain, you understand when I say term, what does it mean? So here we have like terms. Why do we have like terms, Mr. Nasser? Because these are the same letters. Because they are the same letters. Okay, XX. So this only happens in addition, okay, and subtraction. This only happens here, okay, guys? That I cannot add or subtract different terms. I can only add or subtract like terms. So in addition, I can only add like terms, or even in subtraction, the same rule goes for both. But here, another mistake would be adding the powers. No, we don't add the powers here. We don't add nor subtract powers. That only happens in multiplication or division. Okay, since there is a power here and power there, no, we don't look at them at all. We just start adding, and that's it. There is something here I didn't mention, that before this x and before that x, there is a number. This number is called the coefficient. This number is called the coefficient. The coefficient here in this case, guys, is 1. Why it's 1, Mr. Nasser? Because we didn't write it. Whenever we write a letter without a number beside it, it means that there is 1 here. So 1 here, 1 there. So when I add, I'm not adding the powers. No, I'm gonna just erase them. I'm gonna add the coefficients. So 1 plus 1 is 2, guys. And I'm gonna just leave 1x there. So basically we have 2 x's, so that's it, 2x. That's it. I think it's really clear. Alright, let's go to the next one. We've got this one here. 3c minus c. Oh, here's subtractions. Yes. Since there is no number here, I'm just gonna write it, which is 1. 3c minus 1 is just 2c. And that's it. So my answer is 2c. We do not subtract powers. No. We don't even include them at all. Okay, let's go through multiplication. So when we have x times 5. Mister, here we have different terms because this is a letter x and that's a number. So they are different. What do we do in this case? No, that only applies in addition subtraction. If there was here addition, I'm just going to leave it as it is. They are different terms. I cannot. But since it's multiplication, I multiply. What's the number before x? 1. What's 5 times 1 is 5. And x as it is. So my answer is 5x. Even if I have, for example, 2x times 3. 3 times 2, guys, it's going to be 6. And x as it is. So it's actually 6x. Mr. Nasser, what happens, Mr. Nasser, when we have let's say 2 letters multiplied by the same letter? So we have like letters now here. Since they are like terms, because they are the same letter, I'm gonna include the powers here in this case, which is 1 here, 1 there, and there is 1 here and 1 there, and 1 times 1 is actually 1, you know that already, 1 x, and since multiplication, we're gonna add the powers above. So 1 plus 1 is actually 2. So my final answer would be x squared. Okay, what about this one here? 7x plus 3 minus, all right, let's say 3y minus 5x. Like terms. This is a like term, these are like terms, so we just include them. What is 7 minus 5x? It is 2x. Obviously, we don't subtract the powers, obviously. And the plus 3 will go down because there is no like term for it. Nor minus 3y. So we're just gonna put it down. So this is my final answer. Okay, be careful, guys. We cannot add them or subtract them because they are all different terms. Okay, that's it for simplifying algebraic expressions. Let's go to the next part here, guys. We got a writing statement. So there would be a statement for you guys, and all you gotta do is writing the expression. Okay, so for example, I say x more than y. What do I mean when I say x more than y? In this case, guys, you are going to say that it's y plus x. Okay, that's my answer, or x plus y. It doesn't matter really in addition. Remember, in grade 6 and even grade 7 the first time, I told you that the addition and multiplication, the order doesn't matter really. What happens when I say x divided by y? What happens in this case? All you gotta do is x up and y down, and here, since it's division, the order matters. Even in subtraction, the order matters. But so I'm gonna include the x before the y because it's division, divided by. So this is my divisor, and that is my dividend. So my answer is x over y. What happens when I say times? So let's say 4, or let's say for example 7 times x. It's really easy. It's basically 7 times x, which is 7x. We have taken this already. When I say multiply by itself, x multiplied by itself, so it means x times x. So it's x squared. Really easy. What else? Yeah, when I say y less than x, which one comes first? Obviously the x will come first because it's bigger, because all the matters in subtraction, and with the bigger number in the beginning, and then the y. So x minus y, that's it. Okay, that's for algebraic expressions. And we have discussed the formula, and the formula is a fixed equation. Okay, and the formula for speed is an equivalent of distance, okay, which is in meters, over time, which is in seconds. So my unit of measurement here in this case, guys, meter over seconds. All I'm gonna do in the exam is I'm gonna bring you a distance is an equal of, let's say, 3,000 meters, and the time taken is let's say 30 seconds. Okay, all right. So that's over exaggeration. Let's say 300 seconds. Okay, 300 seconds. All right. So I'm just gonna do my formula. Distance up. So I'm gonna put the distance up. Time down, I'm going to put the time down. I'm going to cross my zeros, as you can see here. I'm just going to lift with 30 over 3. And 30 divided by 3 is actually just, all right, it's actually just 10. All right, so it's meters over seconds. Sometimes I'm going to give you more difficult numbers that you might need a long division to solve it, but we already covered that in past videos. All right, guys? So that's the speed, 10 meters per second, which is really cool. All right, so let's go for expanding. Expanding here, it's a very important topic, guys. And let me check if I forgot something here. So good, all good. Yeah, here. All good, yeah. Okay. So expanding here, what does expanding means here? It's basically getting rid of brackets. Please mind my handwriting because I am in the car, so I have the iPad on my lap, so it's a little bit bent and stuff like that. Okay, getting rid of the brackets. So we have 3 bracket. Let's say for example y minus, or let's say plus 3. So what does expanding mean here? What the 3 here outside the bracket, there is a sign between the bracket and the 3. And this sign actually is multiplication sign. So I'm just going to put the 3 inside the bracket like this, guys. So 3 times y, guys, is actually 3y. And 3 times 3, it's actually 9. But you have to include the sign as well. Plus times plus is actually plus. So my answer is 3y plus 9. Obviously, mister, what about the first one? Obviously, there is a plus here, Simon, but we don't write it when it's on the left, okay? We only write it when it's in the middle, okay? And but the minus sign, we always write it. If there's a minus sign, we always write it, okay? Another one would look like 3x, let's say. We have here, let's say 30 minus, okay, let's say 3x, okay? So the same thing here, we're going to expand multiplication. 3x times 30, 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 3 is 9, x times 30 is just x here, so we have got here 90x, and we have 3 times minus 3 is actually minus 9, and we have 2 x's, so x and x is actually going to be x squared, because we add the powers in multiplication, don't we? So my final answer would look like 90x minus 9x. Mr. Nasser, we subtract? No, they are different terms. Why they are different terms? Because we have here a power of 2, and here we have a power of 1. Therefore, they are different terms. And it's very important to understand this part, guys, okay? And that would be it for our expanding, for our formulae, for our statements, and finally for our simplifying algebraic expressions. It's pretty easy, guys. You got this. It was an amazing video. Be seeing you inshallah in the next or upcoming next videos. Assalamu alaikum.